We're live. We're live. Can y'all see us? Can y'all hear us? Amen. First of all, welcome to another Sunday. You know, I know you're surprised. We are surprised too.
That's just a surprise.
Man, hey man, thank you for coming again to another Sunday. We're right into a little bit, situation. Some people couldn't make it last minute.
We live, baby. We live.
Some people could just take it all the way down. Yeah. So some people couldn't make it or hit us out last minute. We can. It is what it is. We move forward. The show goes on. Like that's what it is. So right now it's just us right now. We're waiting on one more person to join us. She will join us shortly. But in the meantime, we're just gonna welcome y'all. As always, we have great topics. Today's topics are actually a little, extra controversial per se. Controversial.
Is it America? Is it the village? Which one?
Whichever one. Y'all get the point. But yeah. We'll jump into the topics once Melissa comes up here. We're waiting on Melissa. Vivian and Lyra couldn't make it for some reasons. But once Melissa comes up, we'll jump into those topics. Good topics, like I said. But anyway, y'all know me, Peter. Megan is back.
Hi.
and of course, you got John. So when Melissa comes up, it'll be us. But in the meantime,
In the meantime, I do want to bring up something. It's been an exciting up and down roller coaster week. Not exactly exciting. Actually, it's been a bad week. Actually,
Oh my God.
I don't know if it's been like.
It was like positive, and then it just
transitioned. I was trying to be balanced, but I'm thinking about all the different news alerts and stuff like that that's been going on this week, and it's been all over the place. Like you got the stuff that's going on in the Middle East.
Oh my God, that is.
You got the
horrible
earthquake in Haiti.
yeah.
Something happened in Yemen. It's like a huge hunger. Like it's like a whole bunch of millions and millions of people are like starving, and I think is it Yemen or is it?
I don't know which one it was. It was.
That's like it's just been some really really interesting headlines, and then of course we had the American track star Shakira.
Oh my God.
That's been all over the place.
That's I don't know how to explain her situation.
How do you feel about her response after? Like how she was? Do you feel like she was well within her right to say what she said, or do you think she should have kind of calmed down?
She's an athlete, so she deserves the right to say whatever she, not just has the right, because everybody has the right, but she does deserve the opportunity to speak and be boastful, because, she was last place in the event, but her time, I can't do what she did still.
It's very humbling, because I've been there.
Yeah. Oh yeah? You used to run track?
I ran track in high school, and I was on the varsity team, and it was my senior year, and we literally went from being, I think it was, whatever the parties before regionals, I can't remember that. Ran in regionals, placed second, we placed first, top two, and then made it to state. So it was like, going through the whole process, I felt like, I was like, I got this, I'm good. And then literally I was in the blocks, and it hit me. I'm running against the fastest girls in Texas, because I went to state meet, and literally I choked. I choked, and I felt it was such a humbling experience, because I wanted to run in the Olympics. I was like, man, I got this. I'm Niger. I'm going to represent the Nigerian team, everything, or America, but still repping Niger. No. I lost, and that's why I'm like, she has to have a lot of confidence in herself, because when I lost, and I even feel like I ran the slowest because I psyched myself out, and I was just like watching her come to the camera the way she was, but she's young, I guess, but
that part,
there's still the humble
she's
part.
young, but everybody tends to forget that, this person's an athlete, whatever, but she's also a human.
Yeah.
So
she's been through a lot too. She lost her mom.
So
everything. So
yeah, she the thing is, like, when you boast like that and you don't perform, that looks bad. Because it's competition at the end of the day. I don't like that people are like, oh, you know, it's people trying to talk down on the black woman, this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
The first 3 people that, what's the name? I can't remember the name. The Jamaican artist. I mean,
Hussein?
no, the Jamaican athletes, the females.
Oh, the
They're
females
all
are
black.
black.
You know,
Yeah,
they're trying to make it an issue that it's not. It's just, it's competition. She talked a lot of smack. She couldn't back it up with her performance. And now she's getting, and the fact that she still talked a lot of smack afterwards. And I like that candid moment where you have the Jamaican athletes like in the back walking past. Her like, oh, you still talking smack.
Jesus. But you know what? I'm not gonna blame her, because I think that she got a lot of confidence from social media. Because like after everything happened with her being disqualified, like the whole Twitter was behind her, the whole black community was behind her, celebrities, artists. So she felt, I can see where she got her confidence from. And I think that considering maybe the amount of pressure on her from everyone expecting her to do great, because like she was already supposed to do great naturally just because she was fast. But then social media had like, you know what I'm saying, like everyone had a light on you. I guess she just didn't want to feel like, dang, I'm disappointed. Millions of people who had been advocating for me to succeed, and I failed. Not failed, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't perform to the standard. So I can understand why she had to maybe overcompensate, just because it's like, damn.
Well, you know, at her best, she's gotten like, at her best, she would have been probably 3rd place.
You think so?
At her best, because the best time that she had was like a 10, instead of 10, 7.
Yeah, but you still do better every time.
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, whatever it is. She didn't make it, she didn't make it. Like, no hard feelings, because here's the thing. I guess we human beings, we like, so we put expectations on people, what do you expect? But look, sometimes you fail, and that's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. She smacked tough, that's fine. She was talking smart, that's fine. But she failed, and that's fine. Let's leave her, let's move forward. Like, everybody does that.
At least she didn't fake an injury like most men do.
Right.
They'll be running, they'll see their lose, and then, oh my God, they caught a cramp. It's like, you know damn well you didn't catch a cramp.
Well, she did pull out the other race, though, so.
You said what?
She pulled out the next race.
She pulled out the next race, that's what she wasn't going to do it.
Oh.
Even after talking smack after the first race.
Damn, that was true.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I would. It's got to be a lot of pressure, so.
If you're just tuning in, so we're low-key kind of killing time waiting on one more person to pull up on us. Vivian's not going to be able to make it, Larry's not going to be able to make it, but we're waiting on Melissa. She says she's almost here, so we're just going to wait on her, but we're just stalling. If you're watching, just go ahead and share the link with your friends who you know will be interested in good conversations. Like I said, we have great topics today, controversial topics. How do you say controversial?
Controversial.
You know, like sometimes the accent.
Controversial.
Sometimes the accent just. You know,
how long have you been in this?
Don't worry about it. Controversial.
Oh.
Please, if you're watching, how do you say controversial? It's not controversial.
Controversial.
Okay.
Okay.
Controversial topics. We have some great topics though. I don't know how you say it. Controversy. Yeah. So. They're great topics, and we're going to talk about them. Interesting topics, but we're going to wait for Melissa to come up. But if you're watching, go ahead and share a link with people so they can tune in. You know, we're going to go ahead. We're going to start exactly about 2:15 or between 2:15 and 2:20, somewhere there. We're going to start, and we'll jump into the topics. But for right now, go ahead and share the link with people. You know, so they can hop in. And if you're watching, you want to be on the chat. There's a chat box attached to the video. Just go ahead and sign into to YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, sign into YouTube, and then you can actually chat with us, ask us questions. Matter of fact, while we're waiting, if y'all want to throw some questions in there, boom, throw it at us. We'll talk about it. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now. We're just waiting, stalling, and then we'll go ahead and start once Melissa gets here. But for right now, yeah, just chat with us if you want to. If you're watching and you want to chat, go ahead and sign into YouTube, and you can chat with us live and ask us questions. And share the link with people, you know? Like, you understand? Just share it. Just click this in.
And they can see more of me.
Yes.
I am the favorite, so.
Yes.
You know, why not? Don't mind me.
Man.
But back to what you were saying about the whole what's going on in Afghanistan. What do you think? Because I've asked people this. How do you think we as like Americans can help, considering the, I guess like not turmoil, but the controversy that we have between America and Afghanistan? Because I've overheard some people talking about it, saying like, you know, it's ironic that as many issues as we've had with sending our troops there and so many of our troops dying in order to protect America, but now that they need to be protected, they're now expecting America to help. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because
I mean, I think America's been trying to help for the longest time. I think the issue going, and this is just my personal opinion, the issue going on out there is deeper than just going there to help train people and all of that. It's like people over there have a very, very strong cultural belief to the point where they're willing to take their lives for what they believe, you know? So that's some deeply rooted stuff that I don't think any super nation can come in and say, you know, we're gonna fix this. You can't fix that many people that have those strong cultural beliefs. So
yeah.
I mean, we can go in and help and do what we can, but you have to expect that once you leave, things may turn to shits.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those situations because what they say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You know, you can train all those people and arm them and all that kind of stuff. I personally think that some of the people that they were training were probably part of the Taliban because you can't. I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on over there, and I don't want to get off conspiracy theory on people, but it's, you know, I think there was definitely a different game for people that went in there saying, "Oh, we're going to go help." I think they probably went in to kind of.
I think that's what any kind of peace group is. You're always gonna have. It's kind of the idea like behind like the whole police brutality situation, where you know a lot of the chief of police will say, we hire people to protect and serve, but you will always have that bad bunch or that bad apple in the bunch. So you can't expect like, because I mean think about it, how many times have you gone for an interview for a job or something, you will present your best self, like, oh, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna do this, that, this and that, but then you have, well you might not, but people will have ulterior motives. So it's like, you know, you can't control how everybody acts. Like all you can do is hope that you're putting people in a position to help others with the best of intent. So I feel that, and that's kind of something that I've been thinking about with this whole situation. I try not to because every day it seems like something, the Delta variant is coming, people are catching it, you know, there's the whole, the vaccine. Did y'all get the vaccine?
Yeah, those alerts.
Yes. As if like someone is coming outside, like COVID is outside my door.
I mean,
that's literally how it
I
feels.
don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, but I think that's one of those marketing tactics to get people to be vaccinated. And by the way, I am vaccinated, so I'm not saying that people should not get vaccinated. But when you see those alerts popping up, it's going to force.
Right here.
No eyes on my neck. Right here. But nah, it literally felt like a marketing, like an ad just popping up.
I mean, I guess
that's what it felt.
Again, a lot of people have something to say when, like for example, you see what's happening in Harris County. They're saying, "No, get vaccinated, we're going to give you $100. Get vaccinated, you're going to get $50." People are looking at that and saying, "Oh, look, they want to kill you. They want to pay you to kill you."
Yeah.
You know that type of stuff. In the eyes of the government, or in the eyes of Harris County, the way I see it, they get proactive because they see that this thing is getting crazy, and the best way to drive it down is to have more people get vaccinated.
And there's an
But
incentive.
exactly, but people don't want to get vaccinated. But they're trying to throw an incentive in there to say, hey, if you get this, are you going to do it? Some people are going and doing it. It's working. So I mean, because my mindset is, why would the government want to kill off over 300 million people?
To start over.
How?
I don't know. How? They want to start over. They're like, you know what?
Sense.
We're not filling this batch of humans, so let's just start over.
Let's start over.
Like,
Hit the
how does
reset
that make
button.
sense to you, bro? Like they literally want to kill off over 300 million people. How does it make sense?
I guess, okay, I know we said we weren't going to get into conspiracies, but maybe because there's just too many people. I don't know. I will say that at this point, I feel like the COVID vaccine, the issue is a matter of telling people what to do, forcing them to do it. And I think that for others who, because there's two different, there's the alt-left and the alt-right. The alt-right is take the vaccine, herd immunity, protect everybody, there's not enough hospital beds to protect you if you catch the virus and then you need to be on a ventilator. And then there's those that are like, just be healthy, take vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, and keep yourself protected because the virus is not, they think it's not real or it's a government scheme. So it's at this point, it's not even so much about the virus, it's so much more about the different opposing opinions with how people view the virus to be. You know, I caught it back in November and it almost took me out. I said back in November, okay? It is now August, South Bend. But it was,
by the way, when I had it,
it was bad when I got it. It was really bad, and so I can now see like, dang, because my immune system I feel like is pretty strong, and it knocked me out. I was all day just medicating, and I was like, okay, the vaccine would be ideal if I took it, but you know, I think it's just a matter of like just people being what is it called whenever you want to do the opposite of what everyone's doing. Whatever that thing is called, like people,
rebels, rebellious.
Yeah, exactly. We want to be rebellious, and just I think that's what it is. I don't think it's about the actual virus. It's more so about the opinions and controversy centered around it. Yeah, that's what I think. But me, what do I know?
No, we get caught up in the controversy. I think people actually love the controversy. But,
yeah.
You know, bad news is great news, and good news is not so good news, but it's still good news.
Which is true.
Yeah, there's always something to, as long as you have people on opposing sides, it's always going to stir up the topic, the issue of what's going on. So.
Okay, so we're 20 minutes in, still waiting on Melissa. But I look at want to say we could jump into one topic and just you know start talking about something.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna start talking about this. Let's just go ahead and start. You know, so we don't just keep you guys waiting. Let's go ahead and do it. Melissa, I'm sorry. Jane said, "Why don't you want to take the vaccine?" Did you say yours?
I know. I'm on my first dose.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have a choice to take the second one. So
okay.
You know, we'll all apparently be getting the mark of the beast at this point. So we will all be seeing it. It is what it is.
Yeah, why does taking the vaccine sound like trying to force someone to take a shot?
But I don't know.
No, I'm talking about alcohol.
Oh, but it is because, you know, I was bullied into taking the vaccine. I was already going to take it, but it was the fact that, like, I haven't seen my mother and my father in a year. I talk to them every day on the phone, but I haven't seen them at home because they refuse to, like, if you don't get this vaccine, you're not coming in this house. And I'm just like, I want to see them. So now it's not a matter of, hey, I want to take it when I want to, because I just don't like being told what to do. That's just like, I want to do it on my own time, which I was already going to, but then now you add this, you know what I'm saying, this threat, it just makes you want to do it less, which you men know. It's like if a woman tells you, you know what, no, you can't hang out with this, I don't like this friend of yours, or I was talking to this person, you will naturally want to, like, I'm not going to listen to you. Right. Because, like, in your mind, you might have already had, like, oh, I'm already going to do it, I'm already going to cut her off, or I'm already not going to hang out with someone, but then when she comes nagging, it's just the spirit of just like, now I just want to upset you because now you're upsetting me by forcing me.
By telling me what to do.
That's literally how I feel, but.
All right, check this out. Let's jump into this topic.
What's that?
I'll jump into the first one, and then whenever Melissa gets here, we'll go get her, and then we'll continue. First topic. You guys know about Dr. Dre and his daughter, right? The situation with Dr. Dre and his daughter. So she's 38, she has 4 kids, she lives in her car at the moment, she's mad. Well, she's made a GoFundMe to ask for help for people. But her dad is worth $800 million.
Almost $1 billion.
And he has refused to help her because she talked to the press and media about him or whatnot. He stopped sending her money in January 2020. So the question is he wrong for refusing to support his daughter? She's 38. $800 million, right? And the reason why this is a topic.
And he stopped sending her money in 2020.
January 2020. But the reason why this is a topic is when this happened, Twitter was coming for him. They were like, how can you have so much money?
Doesn't matter.
How can you have so much money that your daughter is suffering, no matter how old she is? No matter how old she is, no matter how much money whatever it is she's going through. How can you have so much money and she's out here struggling? But you can't even help her?
I don't know the details, but I'm not gonna sit here and say to the man, yo, you messed up, you're not getting her money. He literally was taking care of her since.
Yeah, he was paying her rent, and he was giving her a monthly allowance. Up until January 2020.
So something must have happened for him to be like, you know what,
She
I'm
talked
not
to
giving
the
you more
press.
money. Okay, and that's his due right to.
That's what his lawyer said. His lawyer said she talked to the press.
Now the other part is, he's worth 800. He's worth $1 billion. He could give her a job instead of her working. What's she doing? She's driving.
She's living out
No,
of
she
the car.
does Uber. She does food delivery.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing at the moment. But she doesn't have enough to get her own.
I figure at the very least he can put her in a situation where
No,
she
that's not his responsibility. First of all, are we not all aware that this woman is 38 years old?
She's got two
not
kids.
And so,
is it 2 kids? 3
did
kids?
he?
She's 4.
She's got 4 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing
That's
is,
the only reason why I threw in at least, she don't have to be driving. He can put her in a position where she has her job.
To take care of the kids,
He doesn't
yes.
need to give her allowance or anything like that. At the very least, Because it sounds like there's something going on that we don't know the details of. I mean, we just got to.
So, but my thing is, so if we were in that situation, if you were in that situation, would you not have the job?
the thing is, I am the daughter of a doctor.
Okay.
So
No. So I know what you're about to say, but let's take away what you are right now. You're the one who has 800 million, and your child is out there struggling, hustling and bustling to figure a way out in life.
Mothers and fathers are very different.
For real?
Yes, because I've seen it. Like my mom, she would do it for me, but my father would. But if I did, I know how men are when it comes to respect. Like respect over everything. Like especially if I'm working, I'm doing all I have to do to give you, to sustain you in your lifestyle, and you have the audacity to go out and disrespect me, someone that hasn't, basically you're biting the hand that feeds you. I don't condone it, and I'm not attaching myself to this opinion. But because of what I've learned between men and women, would I help my daughter's children? Yes, I would, because the kids don't have any control in the situation. But do I blame him for being like, since you got so much to say, you're so grown, figure it out. I can't be against that. And mind you, he's rich. He's made that money. To me, that's how I look at it. You're 38 years old. You're grown. I've been giving you all this money over the years. You didn't find any way to invest in. You didn't come to me with, hey, Dad, I want to start a record label or a record company or even a fashion
Maybe
boutique.
she doesn't have that mindset.
But that's the issue. Your father is almost a billionaire. He's and I've seen Dr. Dre talk. He's about his business.
Yeah, but you are your net worth. So I'm thinking she probably wasn't. He didn't grow up in a household with her. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there was no relationship where she woke up and saw him. Oh, Daddy, how are you?
Yeah.
I don't even think she probably barely talked to him on the phone. I think it was just one of those things. Just
that's
guessing.
what it is. So
Okay.
she's the daughter of his first, I guess, woman or wife or whatnot. From what I've read, they probably haven't even seen each other over the last 5 to 10 years. But it's just been communication. He's been providing.
So how long has he been providing for her then?
I just know he stopped providing in January 2020. So he's been providing for her, and then he's paying her rent and giving her a monthly allowance.
Yes.
But he stopped.
Which I'm sure that monthly allowance was crazy.
I think it was about maybe 15, 20 grand a month.
Jesus is Lord. Are you kidding me?
So
You said maybe 20K? Do you know what that is in a year? Mind you, that's after taxes. So like, what? No, I'm sorry. The responsibility is not there.
Well, I get that, but I guess from a human sentiment, look at how we're all here and we're sympathizing with things that are happening in Afghanistan and how people are being displaced, misplaced. I guess,
You're gonna compare.
I don't know. Wait, let me finish.
Jay! Okay, I'll let you finish.
All right, so what I'm trying to say is, I mean, let's not forget the actual context of what's going on in Afghanistan, but the human part of it to where human beings are being displaced and misplaced because of whatever it is happening there.
Okay.
Same thing with her. Her kids are now going to be misplaced because of whatever she's got going on. So I guess where people are coming from, coming at Dr. Dre is look at the human side of things. I know you're mad at your daughter, you're mad at you've been giving her money all these years, but this is a situation where there's kids involved. You are a rich man. You're worth over $800 million. So what does it cost you to continue to see
It's not the cost, it's the
No, you're right. It's the principle.
That's
but then
all
at the same
it is.
time, though, as I said, people are looking at it from a human perspective. You're looking at it from a principle.
Principle.
Look, okay, I think we should take a moment to have a vocabulary lesson. Principal, okay? Principal. That's how you. It's spelled principle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know clearly.
Principle perspective. You're looking at it from a principle perspective. That's what you're looking at it from. But people are looking from a human, and then of course in this world, a human aspect would have more weight.
So Dr. Dre is America, and his daughter is Afghanistan, and her children are the people being displaced. Is what you're saying?
No, time out.
I mean, is that what this is? Because you compared. I mean, I get it. I get what you're trying to say. I still feel like it's not his responsibility to take care of a woman who is almost 40 years old, who has had the opportunity. Like, look, I gave you money. Like, even if at this point, let's even say for 1 year, I was just 1 year, 20K. Let's even start with 15K. What is 15 times 12? Me, math is not together, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty high.
No, I got you. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You have people living off of 20K a year, and you're getting 20K maybe, or at least even 10K a month, and you couldn't find a way to manage that for your children. That's a mindset. And when people have mindsets like that, it's married to other behaviors. So I look at it as like she's acting as though he is responsible for her. But at the end of the day, you're responsible for yourself. And yes, your father came and he did support you and he helped you. But if you know that about yourself, because I look at it like this. If you already know that you have 4 kids, not 1, not 2, 3, not even 4, and you can't mind how you speak in order to still be able to take care of your kids, it's not about you. It's about your children. That means your entire mindset is not there. That's the reason why.
I get that. Well, I guess the thing is, we're just looking at the fact that he's a billionaire or a millionaire. So,
but that's his money.
You're right, exactly. That's his money, but that's also his child and it's like his grandkids. I know for a fact that was me. It's one thing if I don't have the money, and I'm trying and taking out of my savings and helping you, and I'm tired of that. I can't do it anymore. But you're never going to run out of money as Dr. Dre. Matter of fact, in a few more years, the 800 will go up to maybe like billions.
But it's the issue.
I know, I get that. We get that. We know she's messed up in the head. We know she's fucked up. We know that she's.
Because if he continues to give her money, then he's basically enabling the behavior.
At least, here's what I'm saying. So here's what I'm saying. Come on, we're all smart people here. You can always do a thing where you're paying for an apartment, and it's coming out of from you, not from her, but it's for her. Just for those kids. Like, normally he was giving her an allowance. And whatever she was using the money for, we don't know. But just because there's kids involved, you can set up something where you're paying for that apartment and it's up to her if you want to stay there or not. But, you know, I don't know.
The issue that I'm having with this mindset is the fact that what we're saying is we want Dr. Dre to have the same level of sympathy that technically she should have had for her kids. If she had that same level of sympathy, she would not have done what she did, or she wouldn't have spoken on it knowing
So we're talking about the fact that she spoke to the media?
Yeah, I'm just saying like
whatever it is,
like be mindful that, you know what, even if I don't flop with my dad or whatever, my kids need to eat. My kid, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of baby mamas out here who hate their baby fathers who are famous, but they're not going to go say something because they understand that unfortunately they don't want to work, they don't want to get a job, and their baby father is feeding them, and they're not going to say nothing because they understand that there's a possibility I may lose the hand that's feeding me. So the same
maybe
level,
she got to a point where she didn't care.
that's how Dr. Dre is. If you're not going to care about your kids, mind you, like I said, I'm not attached to this mindset. I'm just looking at it
And
from an
I'm saying in the
objective
sense
standpoint.
of, let's just say, what if Dr. Gray wasn't what it seemed to be? Maybe he was a terrible father, and he was just, maybe just sending her money wasn't enough. Maybe she wanted him more in her life in a different level. Or
I need to know what she said. I'm
yeah,
honest, I don't
yeah,
even know
I'm
what
not
she
sure
said.
because I don't know what the details are, but I'm only assuming, of course, just trying to paint a picture so where it can make sense that maybe she just got to the point where it was like, you know what, I don't want your money no more. I'll try to figure it out on my own, blah, 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 blah. And not saying that the whole situation is okay. She's still a mother of 4 kids. She needs to figure out how to manage her money, take care of her family, and not rely on her dad. However, I do want to say this. We don't talk about the white billionaires that don't give money to their kids.
I was
Like,
literally
it's a
just
lot of
thinking
you
that.
got
Like,
your
there's a lot
Warren
of,
Buffett, Bill Gates. They're
literally.
like, they literally said when they die, they're gonna give their money away to all their
but look at,
to charity and all of that.
Warren
They're not giving
Buffett
it to
put
their kids.
all his kids on. Like, he literally sat there and said, like, it's funny being a billionaire, he could say this, but I remember watching an interview and he said, like, do what you love. Like, one of his kids is into music, another kid does like tech or something. So he lets his kids do what they want and he helps fund their dreams. But he doesn't personally fund them because the problem is you get into this, what is it called? Entitlement, where you feel you're entitled to your parents' money because they're simply your parents. But there comes a point where you have to be responsible for you. Like, I don't ask my parents for money. My dad, I mean, he does well for himself. He's a nephrologist. But me, I chose to suffer. I chose to wake up every morning, every day, and work and make more money for my own sense of individuality, for my own sense of responsibility. So I can't put that on someone else. And also, like, there's a lot of homeless people in Houston. And sometimes I'm extra, as you guys see, I like to talk. So I've talked to some of the homeless people, and a lot of them have rich parents, families, but they're just like, their families do not feel responsible for them because whether they had a drug addiction or they were kleptos or something happened to them, it's just a matter, yes, it's a sympathy sentiment situation, but it's also a human mindset of everyone is an individual. You are brought into this earth, I've hopefully giving you enough to figure things out, but once we get to a certain point, I have to cut off the ties.
Wait, so is it wrong to not wait, hold on. This is a good one. So you have a family member that's literally on drugs, they're out in the streets, and you just let them go. Is that
Yes.
Is that okay? To be like, okay, you know what, I'm done?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty
Or
sure.
should they still try to
Most, I mean, from the stories I've heard, when it comes to drug addicts, family members, there's usually a process where the ending point is the intervention. And then once the intervention shows that there's, like, you have to think about your own mental health. Like, think about imagine, God forbid anyone here ever has anyone that's close to them that's on drugs. It's like, that's a lot of stress to take. Every day you have to worry, are you gonna wake up to them dead in your room? Or are they going to get caught up in a situation where they're trying to go buy drugs and then the person they're buying from follows them home and something happens? Like, there's only so much as a human being that you can manage emotionally. So I'm not going to put the responsibility of the family to keep that person because I didn't force the drugs on you. I hopefully put you in a situation where you would be a little bit healthier.
I mean, that's fact. So, I mean,
Unless you're 17 or 18.
Well, I don't.
Before,
Like I said, God forbid any of us ever has to go through that. But I would think that if you're that family member, well, you're not just going to let them go. You probably want to help them by placing them somewhere and putting them in somebody else's care, some type of institution or whatnot.
but not everyone can afford that institution, and even
True.
that might not do anything because they just have decided to do that. And I think that there's only so much. I don't think anyone should have 100% responsibility for anyone once they get to a certain age. Like, if you're 13 years old and you were doing drugs, and then yes, I do think your parents are responsible. They had you. So if your kid gets into some stuff, then that's your responsibility. But when it gets to past 20 something, like, if you want to go kill yourself, okay, I'm not going to kill myself waiting for you to stress. I'm not doing that.
Right. So just looking at the comments, it looks like majority is leaning more toward him trying to figure out something at least to try to help. Or, just like, we know it's not your responsibility, but they're talking about, at least figure something out for the sake of the grandkids. Because I know if I was in that situation, I'm looking more towards the grandkids at that time. Because, like I said, if Dr. Dre is missing, even if it's $50,000 a month, he's not gonna miss it.
But okay, so the question is, how is he gonna help the grandkids without going through their mother? If the mother's not trying to help herself,
I mean,
there
just
has to
making
be.
sure that they have a home to live in, because I think they're staying with somebody.
Does she
want?
Does she even want the help? I thought.
It sounds like she wants to help. If she went to the media, I don't know. Somebody said we don't know the details, so it's hard to really.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're speaking
Yeah.
on what
Yeah.
we think.
But I mean, me personally, I don't think I would.
I was gonna say,
My
what's her
daughter
name
is-
is here, so I'm gonna go get her up.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll pick up this conversation in a second. I'm gonna be back.
Go to.
Oh, you can put the cast. If you wasn't going to be on the show, just the links about to pop up on the screen. Go ahead and click that link, fill out the form. We'll reach out to you to be on the show. But in the meantime, we're gonna take a time out real quick. We're
And you
gonna
have
take a
to
5-minute
share
time
the
out.
link with your family and friends real quick.
Right. So we'll take a 5-minute time out real quick, and we'll be back. You got go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So we're back.
And we are.
And we are back.
We are back.
And we are back. Okay, I think we're back. Somebody's volume. Alright, so yeah guys, we're back. Thank y'all for waiting with us, vibing with us. We're gonna go ahead and jump straight to the next episode. Everybody, this is Melissa. You know, she had a little, family emergency she had to take care of, but she's here. We thank you for,
Thank you for having me.
still coming through. So yeah, we talked about the dress situation for a bit, so we'll just go ahead and jump straight into the next topic real quick. All right, so I'm gonna read it out. Now listen to it, and then we'll talk about it. A man and a woman are the same age. They make the same amount of money. They have equal joint custody of their 2 children. Who do you think has a harder time dating with 2 kids, the man or the woman, and why? So they have 2 kids. I guess this stemmed up from a topic we discussed last week. So it's kind of like we got into this whole back and forth after the topic, trying to figure out who really has it harder. When you have the same responsibilities when it comes to your children. Who has it harder to actually go out and date, the man or the woman? 2 kids, same equal custody.
I was gonna say it depends on the algorithm, but that's an inside joke.
So who has it hard? I know Megan got a lot to say about this. I'm just here to bring her back to here when she goes here, because at the end of the day, I feel like if both people have the kids for the same amount of time, I don't see how it should be harder for the woman to date.
Much harder.
So it's harder for the woman to date.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. You know
You
why?
agree?
No, I agree.
I got a question to ask you.
Okay.
Both of y'all.
Okay.
When you go out today, how many guys are gonna holler at y'all?
Several, but I mean,
Okay.
law of
Okay,
attraction.
now.
Several.
Next question. When you go out tomorrow, how many guys are gonna holler at you?
More.
What the same?
And then the next day after that?
Plenty.
How often does that happen to you? When you go out, how
You're-
many
you're
females?
gonna-
Hold on. When you go out, how many females holler at you?
But
0.
That's a different
But that's-
comparison.
First
Oh,
of all-
no. My whole point is this. It's not literally.
we're talking about dating.
Listen. It's not literally about the comparison, but you have to look at the numbers. Because we are talking about dating. Dating has to do with meeting people and having a conversation and say, okay, let's go somewhere else and continue that conversation.
But there's a
Hold on,
societal norm.
Women
though.
Right.
on a daily basis have a huge amount of numbers coming to them.
Yes.
Like, it may not be what you want, but it's like the more numbers you have, the more of a choice that you have, basically, right? That's all I'm getting to. At the
I
end
don't
of
believe
the
I
day.
that
don't
women
believe
had
that.
a list. I just think that
Because-
women's approach is not as aggressive as a man's, and it's unfortunate to say it's a double standard. Like the stick or the norm is for a man to approach the woman 9 times out of 10, unless you're a very strong or open-minded woman, or just you go for what you want. A lady's not just gonna take the free will to go. So the numbers are always gonna be
Some women
maximized.
approach, man.
Yes, but
Yeah.
mind you, we're talking about, okay, we're gonna use your sentiment. If men are going and approaching women, you just said how many men are going to approach us? Let's say today, 10 men come to her, 10 men come to me. I'm pretty sure those same 10 men are going to another 10 women,
Right.
and they're also exercising their options. For a woman, it's different because we're choosing,
Not
whereas
necessarily.
men are the ones
Here's the thing.
going.
Here's the thing.
Right.
And
Like
approaching.
you would think so, but the thing is, like, as the man, you're the one that you're putting yourself in a situation to get the rejection, and it's only but so many rejections that'll make you keep going.
Yeah.
Maybe on the 9th try you get that one. Okay, good.
That's
So
amazing.
I might keep
But
going.
But that's the numbers game.
But
Yeah.
and that it's
Because
still
some of the men
it's
are
still the
probably-
numbers game. But however, women, you're not the one going out there saying, "Oh, let me go holler at as many men as possible." So it's constantly coming.
But you see, I feel like with the men, that it's a personal thing, because you don't necessarily have to be going at 10 to 15 different women on a daily
Well, you're trying to date somebody,
Right,
so you have to.
so-
Let's bring it back. So yeah, I think we've established that women do get men coming at them.
Right.
So I
Yes.
guess my question then is,
in this situation.
what's really going?
I
Why do you think it's harder? Why do you think
So I
those
think
men
the-
coming at you? Why do you think that it's not materializing to anything? Because you have 2 kids.
What's the okay?
No,
I
'cause
think
we're
we should
gonna pick it.
specify the question. What constitutes dating? Are we talking about like going out and being
Going
in
out
a
on a
serious
date.
relationship. Well, I mean, to go on a date, you don't even have to tell me you have
Well,
kids.
yeah.
Right.
To get to a
Because I don't be
relationship.
finding out till day 3 that, oh,
Right,
you know,
right.
I have a wife.
Let's talk about let's talk about actually going on a date and getting into a relationship with this person. Why do you think it's harder for a woman with 2 kids to actually get into a new relationship compared to a man with 2
Because
kids?
of standards.
It's
I
a
feel
standard.
like women, there's certain concerns that women have off the rip that a man doesn't consider. So like women are naturally protective. So I'm not just gonna be as free will as a man to let any man just in my child's life. Not saying that men do, but a lot of men are more open. I mean, I hate to say, like, if you look at 9 times out of 10, a man that has a baby mama or whatever the case may be, like, he's not worried about his baby mama. Like, yes, if I take care of my child, that's what I'm doing. But when it comes to the opposite, a woman is not going to just be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna date 9 dudes this week just because I'm free.
And again, just imagine you're that woman who is single, you know,
Right,
with
and
2
I'm
kids.
gonna be very selective.
The guy who was your ex, who's the father of those kids, you're so protective of your kids. You're not even going to allow the person that he might want to be with that. That's why I feel like it might be more difficult for men, because women are definitely more selective on
Protective,
who
yeah.
protective of their children. So there's absolutely no way that if that man that is the father of those kids that you're talking about, he won't be able to find any woman.
Yes, he is.
No,
Yeah,
because
it's communication.
It's communication, but then you're restricted. Like,
We're
you're
focusing on
restricted.
dating. I think we're not, because mind you, this is, I think also we're putting a lot of stipulations. I feel as though the question, and correct me if I'm wrong, is based off of mother and father who are co-parenting
Right.
healthily.
Mhm.
So let's say, I do agree with the
Right.
protection, but I think for the sake of conversation, let's assume that they are both healthy and say, you know what, we are not together, we just co-parent,
Right.
you date who you want, you date who you want. I still think with that mindset that it's easier for men to date with 2 kids than a woman.
Why do you think so?
I think because so I've had this conversation with guys where they've said that men measure women based off of sexual marketplace value.
Right.
A woman that has 2 kids
Word of the day.
what you said what? Sexual marketplace value. And mind you, the younger you are, the less kids you have, the higher your sexual marketplace value is. So let's say she's 28 with 2 kids. It's going to be a lot harder for her to find let's say a high value man or a certain kind of man, because most guys don't, from what I've seen, don't want to father another man's kids. But women are, for the most part, naturally maternal.
And nor do they consider
that's different nowadays.
Exactly.
I think that's an old school mentality. I don't think that's the mentality that people have nowadays. People are a whole lot more open to.
I know a girl literally just now who is now the 3rd baby mother, seeing the fact that she knew he had 2 baby moms, she knew that he had 2 kids, she still got into the situation knowing what she knows, and he's not even rich or anything. She just liked him. And she went in and had his 3rd child. And now they're not even together.
Yeah.
Because it's different. Men, y'all got a mouthpiece on y'all. The thing is, women love to feel, it's the way that women approach relationships is much more different than the way men approach relationships. So I think that, like, really, if you know that I have 2 kids, even if it's, because it hurts. It's like, okay, you have 2 kids by 2 different men, it kind of makes you look like, oh, you might be kind of fast. Not saying that you are, but it's like, to the mind of a person,
right.
the stigma, it's like you have 2 baby daddies, okay, that's one thing. Then it's even worse if you have 2 kids by the same man. It's like, well, then why aren't y'all together?
Exactly.
So you let the same guy impregnate you twice and you ain't with him yet? So it's like, there's a standard behind it, whereas women, they're just different when it comes to dating. Number one, the number of options a woman has compared to men is already kind of lower in general. So it's like dating for women is already harder. No, it is. If you look at how many women are single versus men, I think it's very different.
You don't think so?
So I don't think so. Again, like I said, the only grounds that I can say it's more difficult for a woman is when you throw in, she's
Which makes
older
sense.
or
She
like,
makes more or whatever.
Even if she's 22 with 2 kids, age doesn't
Doesn't
even
even
matter.
matter. These
It's
days it
just
doesn't
the
matter.
sexual marketplace value of
What is
automatically.
sexual marketplace?
What
Yeah,
it
that's
is basically how much I value you within your standard of sexuality. Because when a man sees you, the
People
first
like
thing he
cougars for a reason. I didn't know
Exactly.
sex.
But
Right.
I mean that's different because if she's a cougar, that's a different mindset. I know guys that date older women
Or
for
vice
specific
versa.
reasons.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. I think we're putting everybody in a box. At the end of the day,
Well, we all do.
women,
We
listen,
compartmentalize when it comes
women
to
have
dating.
men coming at them all the time, and I feel like if a woman is having a hard
But the
time,
moment
listen,
he
listen,
finds out,
the
she got 2
reason
kids, he
a
don't
woman, if a woman is having a hard time dating is because she has some issues that she has to, like, she's probably limiting herself in some way, shape,
because
or
she
form.
has 2 kids.
Look, there are lots of women out there with kids, and they're winning. They're winning
Mind
career-wise.
you, yeah.
They're winning
We're not saying
dating-wise.
it's impossible.
It's a lot, because here's the thing. At the end of the day, there's a lot of good men out there, but a lot of women overlook those good men for this idea that they have in their mind.
But
It's
we're
not
talking-
an
but
idea.
we're
I think
talking
it's a
about
certain
kids.
standard that people have. Like, you should have the idea of the kind of woman you see yourself with. And just like a woman should have the same standard of the man she sees herself with. I don't think that's a con to have, like, I expect my man to do this. I expect my man to make, like, it's the standard that I want for my man.
A woman can meet a guy that's making money and still overlook him because he doesn't meet a certain criteria. Maybe it could be looks, maybe it could be charisma, it could be anything, height.
Right.
It could be a lot
But
of
I'm
different
not
things.
a like, but
But
I
if
do
the-
like
but
that
the
you
money
like
is
what you
there.
like. But men
And
like
that's-
women like
Right.
too. It's,
So
it's
it's
crazy
like-
how men love to talk, and this is kind of off topic, but I feel like men love
Men-
to talk
the-
about
the-
women.
The
just
difference
like,
between men
you
and women
wouldn't-
is men don't limit themselves.
Yes, they
when
No,
it-
do.
No, no.
Because you will approach a.
We do not limit
if you
ourselves.
see a, if you see,
You know how many
I was gonna
times-
say,
you know how
if
many
you
times
see
I
a
heard women-
300-pound woman, she knows how to cook. She
Easy.
might suck the skin off of you,
Right.
and she is a great woman. You will not want her because
Do
she
you know how
doesn't
many
fit your
men are with
standard.
super thick women? What are
Yeah,
you talking about?
but mind you, nothing
What
we're
kind
saying.
of thick,
Nothing
though?
we're saying.
Thick,
We're-
botched, BBL thick.
I've
like,
heard-
Nothing we're saying is absolute. There
I've
is
heard
a
women
percentage
say plenty of
in all
times.
of
I've
this.
heard women say plenty of times that a man will F anything with a hole. So
Yes,
please don't tell
yes.
me that men are out there limiting themselves. Women are out there limiting their own selves.
I don't think it's limiting. You look at it as limiting, but we're doing the same thing you
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
Whether, because
No,
mind you,
you're
there
not.
are lots of girls who date ugly men. They don't like
Yeah.
attractive men, and you might say, well, okay, well she doesn't like him because his breath stinks. Oh, now she's limiting him. No, that's just something
Just
she doesn't
doesn't
want,
wanna do
and I
it.
feel like that's men.
So to bring it back, you're saying that it's harder for women because there's
Yes.
this thing called a sexual marketplace value.
Yes.
That a man. Well, let me
Measure
summarize.
it.
is though.
I think that's one factor. A lot of
I
men
wanna
don't
summarize.
want to father
Okay, but-
another man's child.
And I was going to get to that. So I want to summarize. You're saying that it's harder for a woman just because
I could think of
she already
plenty of
has
men
2 kids, and then when a man sees her, he's telling her, look, you already had 2 kids, so your sexual marketplace value has gone down. Just because you have 2 kids.
Just because you have 2 kids.
Regardless of age.
Same thing.
No,
Well, yes.
no.
But I'm saying like
No,
men measure. I only
It's-
know this because of because like I said,
What men are these that you're talking about?
I mean, I talk to men like, okay, I'm the type of person where I like to have conversations with people,
Right.
and I like to generate, understand mindsets, just because I like to understand the human experience
Right.
across the board. And from a lot of people that I meet, guys, if I tell, because sometimes I'll be childish and I'll tell the guy, oh yeah, I have twins, and literally their faces drop. They're like, oh, wow, how old are they? And I'll just be messing with them, and I'll see a difference between the man that knows I don't have kids versus the man that thinks I have
I
kids.
want to talk about this comment, and then we can jump to the next topic. She says it is harder for a woman. She says just because women have a lot of men coming after them does not mean that they are viable. They're viable options.
Exactly.
But she also ends with this. She says men are literally the ones who drive the relationship. They are the pursuers. They propose to us. So here's my thing.
Okay.
2 things here. Sure, you guys are already agreeing that there's a lot of men coming to you, but they are not viable options.
Yes.
So why does that make it difficult for you? Because you make the choice.
Because you
Wait,
have
what
a
do you mean?
standard.
And that's fine.
Right.
Wait, what was the
But here's
question?
the thing. You make the choice to say no.
Yes.
Right.
It's your conscious decision to say I don't want this. So it's not something that's limiting.
So I should date trash
but what I'm
because
saying,
it
but
promotes
what I'm saying is what's limiting you is your own
So if a drug dealer
It's
comes
not
to me
something that
that
somebody
beats
has
women and
No.
he's
But
a
here's what-
terrorist,
okay,
you want
can you hear me
me?
out real quick? Can you
Oh,
hear me out real quick?
I
Can you hear me out real
should-
quick? Hear me out real quick. Because when you say something is hard, I'm looking at it as it's something beyond your control. It's hard because it's something you have no control on. But you have a control on this. I'm not saying date this guy.
But you are.
But men also have that same control.
But here's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, it's hard because you place you have the control of it. When I hear something is hard, I'm looking at it like, I have no control.
You have to
But
have
you have to date quality. Are you gonna date a
People
woman?
in Afghanistan finding it hard right
Okay,
now because it's not on their control.
listen, you
They don't
have
have
two
control.
kids.
You see what
But you
I'm
have two
saying?
kids now, right? We're talking about this. If the man, if a woman comes and you decide to talk to her because she has A, B, C, and D, but she is selfish, she doesn't know how to care for anybody else, and she's I don't know, there's a lot of, she don't do nothing, she doesn't have a healthy mindset. Let's say she doesn't have a healthy mindset. You would want that woman around your kids?
No, you just got a woman with a healthy mindset.
No, which is quality. That's what we're
Right.
talking about. So
Okay.
dating a quality man, because
But
you're
not
now saying
all-
it's a mindset.
All men that come to you don't have an unhealthy mindset. I'm
No,
sure,
they don't.
I'm sure
But
a
I
good
think
30% of them have.
Well, I guess what I'm
a
trying to say
healthy
is,
mindset, so.
at the end of the day, I guess it goes both ways.
Because
We can't sit up here
dating,
and say
not
it's
being
more harder for
approached,
a woman,
like,
or we can also sit up here and say it's more harder for a man, but because I'm saying, at the end of the day, these are things that we ourselves have placed. That's what I'm saying. These boundaries or
Right.
these obstacles are things that we have placed there ourselves. So we can't say that it's hard because
It
we can
is
say
hard.
we can say it's harder for
I just feel like
this person.
I don't think a man or a woman, like men have more capability of dating versus a woman or vice versa. I just think it's the person that has
It's
placed
situational when it
that
comes to kids.
limit in
Thank you.
themselves.
When it comes to,
Very-
if we're talking about the fact of the children aspect, I think it's situational because you do have guys that like to take the initiative of, oh, I don't mind to help aid you with your children.
Yeah.
Or, it's like they enjoy that type of bond or family ship. But then you have some that's like, that's not my business, those are my kids. So it's like, you just have to understand who you're dealing with because when you're dealing with having your own seed, there's a whole nother level of standards that come into play, and that's why you can't just date anybody.
All right, check this out. Let's jump to
Absolutely.
the very last one because it kind of transitions into what we're already talking about. And I'm gonna read it out and let's talk about it because we probably have like 10-ish minutes to go. So my kid's mom and I, that's the very last one. My kid's mom and I decided to end our relationship 2 months ago. The problem is she doesn't want to move out. We both agree. Check this out. Let's talk about it. Now, again, I know we might say, oh, it's very vague, but let's take it for what it is and try to deduce at least 1 or 2 things extra from their situation from what we're given. Look, my kid's mom and I decided to end our relationships 2 months ago. The problem is she doesn't want to move out. We both agree that, we are over, we're over each other, but she hasn't put any efforts into finding a new place. This should be my responsibility. Am I wrong for wanting to kick her out? So, like I said, if this is what I'm getting from this, if he's waiting for her to get out or move out or whatnot, it means that he probably holds a place, right?
Right.
It's probably his apartment or house or whatever it may be. We don't know if they're married or whatnot, just as my kid's mom. But he wants to kick her out. Is he wrong for women to do that?
No.
I feel like it's equal. If the script was flipped, if a man lived with me and it's my place and I want you to get out, you're gonna get out.
Bye.
Yeah. And so he's not wrong. Like we're not together. I don't even think that it should be a discussion. It should be understood.
Well, you said something about kids, right?
Yeah.
So there's kids involved. That's just as important, just like we were talking about the other topic. It's about the kids, right?
It is about the kids, but
So-
there's a way to correlate without being in each other's space. Like I don't feel like, oh, just because like people use that kids thing as a tie, and it can be
It's
unhealthy
collateral
too.
damage
Yeah,
at
like
this point,
it can
but
be very unhealthy.
I do feel like there should be a certain level of grace with this situation because the kids are there. You can't just be like, oh, get the fuck out. But
No,
then
no.
your kids are gonna be staying. My kids are gonna be staying with them.
Right.
I wouldn't do that.
But
I would allow
well-
some. We would have to. We'll work.
You have to
I feel like
find
it's
a
one of those.
median
Yeah. it'll be
when you
one of
have
those
it,
things,
but then again, like if that's not my wife, it's not like or my husband. If you're just my boyfriend, like okay, we share a child. That's our bond. Some people don't have any kind of good relationship with their significant other, so it's like we're not together. I'm gonna give you so amount of time, figure it out, or if you have to stay with your parent, whatever the case may be, do so. But we're not just gonna force a situation because we have a child or children together.
No, we're not forcing the situation. I'm just saying.
Chica says help her find a place close by. Is that your responsibility?
Yeah.
I think, well,
Not his
there's
responsibility,
questions.
but he should.
Because I feel that he is not responsible for her. However, what were the terms and agreements of me leaving my independent situation to now be with you? Because if I was, say, working, because a lot of guys do this thing where, you know what, I'm going to take care of you because y'all going to be having a mouthpiece. I've heard it myself where it's like, oh, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to work, but I got you. Literally had a guy.
Oh, that's when the sexual market values up.
No, because I ain't got no kids. I'm just kidding. Having kids does not 100% decrease your sexual marketplace value. It's not the same for men. It's really more so for women.
Yeah.
Because a man can be 80 years old and look at Hugh Hefner. You don't, what 80-year-old woman is like that? No, it's just different for women and men.
He's really trying to think about when
Thank you.
So you're saying if he took you away from where you were at, where you were living alone by yourself,
then I
he
think
made you move.
You should help me with it. There's a certain responsibility because, like I said, a lot of guys can do, not everybody, but a lot of guys can do that. That's what I'm saying.
It's a very seldom though, because 9 times out of 10 the woman is usually responsible, and I hate to say it, so.
But I still feel like it's not even if he could somehow convince you to leave where you were living to come and live with him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's your responsibility. That's you make that decision at the end of the day to listen to this fool.
But he wasn't a
But
fool.
he's the father of your child.
He wasn't a fool then, exactly, because I don't know what it was. She was saying, you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like that's still not an excuse. If you decided to say yes, I'm leaving and coming with you, and not even think of the possibility that we may not be together after a certain amount of time.
Who literally goes into a relationship saying we might not be
Thank
together?
you.
Why would I want to self-sabotage
Mr.
my
Self-Sentiment?
Okay, but here's the thing. I know a lot of women today who will not do that. They're not gonna up and be like, oh, I want to move into a guy's house because no.
There's a lot of women that will
They would
doing
like
it right
with
now.
their bestie. They say they want to
No.
If a man is taking the financial responsibility,
She's taking it.
woman is
You know how many women are living with their boyfriends right now?
Exactly.
So I can name 3.
I won't.
But I can name 3 people right off the top of my head that are living with their boyfriends because the boyfriend said, hey, you're already always at my house anyway, so we might as well just live together.
But here's what I'm saying. Again, I don't know who those 3 people are, but I don't know what the situation was, but I'm saying somebody who is actually well off living by themselves will not say, oh, I don't want to live by myself.
Yes.
I'm thinking they're probably from their parents' house. Like, people leave their parents' house, like, yeah, let me just move in with you. But
exactly. Okay, so you took me out of my father's house and then put me into your apartment.
We made a mutual agreement because it takes 2 to tango. You made the offer, I took it, and now we're
here.
But
you took the offer, you should have weighed the pros and cons of that offer.
No.
I mean, come on, because if it was a man, that's what y'all would say to the man.
I don't think it's his responsibility, yes, but I do think if you took me out of the situation I was in and we built a family and now I gotta get out, then if we're gonna have this family mindset, then you need to take this family mindset and help me find somewhere else to stay because you took me out of my situation. That's all I'm just saying. I really feel like that's what it is.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick. So, with what you're saying right now, let's rewind back to that lady who...
I knew you was going to do this. I knew you was going to do this. As soon as I said that.
Because it's kind of the same.
It's not, it is.
No.
But...
Let's come back.
I promise you're going to dissect...
What's the situation?
No, talk to a 38-year-old woman. Mind you...
No, not the 38-year-old woman. Let's go back. We can go back to the 38-year-old woman. Let's go back to that lady who was expecting her boyfriend to leave her on that lifestyle.
No, that's different.
Come on, because
you are comparing tomatoes to apples. It's not the same.
It's kind of the same because this is the principle, right? He took you out of your situation that you were in. Same thing with her. She never had stuff. He was. You know what I'm talking about? The lady who
I know
said
you're talking about.
She wanted
basically a woman who was with her boyfriend. He gave her an expensive lifestyle, and then once they broke up, she still expected him to maintain lifestyle. That's different. That is. Didn't you just say earlier you can take a horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink? Or you can teach a man to fish, so that way they can feed themselves for the rest of their life, not do fish for that man? That's different. You're expecting the situation that she is expecting him to continue to fish for her forever, versus the boyfriend is gonna go and help her find a place so she can be independent. There's a difference between being independent and still being codependent. That girl was talking about only don't want to do nothing. You're gonna maintain me. This woman, what I'm saying is, she is just help
Okay,
me
okay,
become
but-
independent.
Let's keep
I didn't
that
say-
aside. Let's keep that aside. It's not making sense.
It's making
So
sense.
why do you think Dr. Dre shouldn't help his daughter at this point? If you're saying that
Mind
she's
you,
right now.
he did help his daughter.
No. Like right now, she's helpless. Help her again.
But at what point
a
do you
helper.
drop? Like you can only
Thank
help
you.
so many people
So many times.
for so long until it's like you're not even trying
You
to help
become
yourself.
entitled.
Yeah, but
like-
this is your child. This isn't just like
Understand.
anyone, any random
No,
person.
definitely. I definitely understand child blood, but at this, it's just like celebrities, for example. People think just because people are celebs that you're entitled to their
Entitled to
wealth.
the
You're
money.
entitled,
No.
but blood, sweat, and tears. Like the same way I made it is the same way you can put in the dedication, the time, and the commitment to make it. So even as my child, I'm gonna help you
To an extent.
to build you up.
Mind you,
into
this woman is
So
independent.
what would you
Exactly.
define as helping? Just giving money, or
No, there's
Whatever
there's
it
different
is.
rules and regulations, and I feel like it depends on the family, the people, who it is, because in culture, like I know in African cultures, some African families, like your dad, hey, this is 10K, I want you to start your business, or you can stay with me until you
you're
get married,
which
or
is-
you know, like there's certain levels, but it's just like, why do people feel so entitled for you to baby them to the grave? Like there's
literally.
like that doesn't make
Because
sense.
if your cousins come to you and start all asking you for money, they're your family. Give them all money. You're not gonna do that.
But
But
there's a
right.
difference though. There's a
what's the
difference.
difference? Oh, what's the difference? Do
I'm
tell.
not a millionaire. Dr. Dre's a millionaire.
But you have enough money.
No, he's
That's
a
a nice
billionaire.
shirt you have on, sir.
This
Is that
is
a Fitbit?
These
Wow,
$20.
this is a party.
These $20.
Is that
So you think the
is that
financial margin makes a
It
difference?
does make a difference. Come on.
But
now,
you
what
have
I'm
enough.
saying.
How much is $1 to Naira? Isn't that like now $498 $1? So
But
if you give
okay,
$20.
let's be like this. Let's be like this. Of course, if I was on Dr. Dre's level, Dr. Dre, you know.
Because we're
if
saying
I
a
was- if I
percentage
had
of
all
it,
that type of
right?
money, yes, I would help somebody. But then again,
But would you help everybody?
But
Your whole,
yourself.
your family.
But remember what I said. Remember what I said. Especially in his particular situation. All I said was, from what we've heard, he was giving her money. I'm
Yes,
saying,
right.
don't give her the money anymore. Let money come out from you directly to the
That is
property.
not what you're
I
saying.
said
No,
that.
that's what he said.
I said,
He said
let the money come out.
Because
of
I said
you.
don't give her money.
No, I said let the money come from you to the source, to the apartment or
But you
whatnot.
see,
So
here's
let
my
it go to
issue.
the house.
Okay,
You know,
money,
Don't
help
give it to her
doesn't
directly
always
anymore.
stem from money, and I think people have to
Yeah.
understand that. Like, I don't have to give you financial gain to be helping you. I can place you in a position for you to gain your own finances, but it doesn't mean I need to, because I'm this billionaire, I have to give you 50K for you to be successful. No, if anything, I'm going to talk to you for somebody that might be able to place you in a position to get the same 50K I got. Like, it should
Yeah,
have to be,
that's what I
especially
think.
if I've already assisted you. In this case, I'm sure it's not his first time helping his daughter.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
So
that's standard, but at the same time, you see your flesh and blood. You know what I think it is? How,
Well, I mean, like going back to the article, it said they're not seeing each other for years.
Exactly.
Like plenty of years they haven't seen each other. So I'm thinking in my mind, he's not being
It's
a
a sour
father figure in her
relationship.
life. It's
Yeah,
just,
like
you know,
you have to. It's
all
just
you
like
do is
if
just
you
send
have
money.
a single parent. You never had talked to your dad, and then out the blue, Dad, I'm going to college. I need you to cover my tuition. Like, who's just gonna free will just because you're my son? I haven't heard from you in years. Like, it wouldn't just be.
it's like the lottery
automatic.
mindset. It's like you win the lottery right now, all of a sudden
We're
you're gonna have all these
So
people that are your first and third cousins.
but I don't think it was her. It should have been him trying to be in her life versus her
Yes.
trying to be in his life.
I
Right.
So
agree.
well, I don't know the full story, but I think it's one
But
of
he
the
still
situations
tried to
where
help her, and but
yeah, but again, help may not be the help that she needs. Is obviously not the finances. The finances are there. You know, the help that she needs may be how to manage money, how to set goals, and
so
achieve
but the
goals,
hard
or
part about
how
this
to-
is we're going back and forth because the point was he's not helping her, but you're saying like she went and talked mess about not helping, but it's like okay, he's not doing enough, but she doesn't want the help no more. I'm just trying to understand like where are we drawing the line? Where's the principle in this? Because like I'm listening to everyone and it's
I'm not
like
gonna lie. If I got that money that she was getting, I don't
You
think
would
I
have
would.
helped your.
Yeah,
you
I
would have
would
helped
help
his
myself.
exactly.
No, you're doing nothing. You're
20
breathing.
but
And
20
then,
to 15
like I
years.
said, I feel like if our relationship is already not good, we need to help that before child or not, like, we need to fix that before you just expect me to free will and help you. Like, we have
And
so
then don't
many
go to
broken
the
days.
internet and
Yeah.
then start talking mess about me.
Okay. So I guess to sum it up, you're saying Dr. Dre he shouldn't be responsible to help his child, right? And then in the other situation, the guy should
I think it's
keep the baby
circumstantial.
out.
Thank you.
That's the circumstances around it, right?
Because
Keep
it's not
the baby
absolute.
out.
You're saying, so he should not help his seed at all. So you
No, they
agree
should
that she
just
should by
go
herself.
take a walk in the park and go.
I think that there's, yes.
That's
I
what they
think
need
that
to go
there's
do.
levels to manage this relationship, but the whole money situation, it's just very tricky because if everyone here wins the lottery and we win
Exactly.
millions, I promise you we are all
I'm
the
gonna
same.
give family from the graveyard around.
Literally, someone like,
You
I thought
already
you
did
died.
tell me
Where did
that.
you come from?
Okay. All right,
Okay.
but I guess so for the second situation, he needs to keep her out, right?
Yes.
Or you-
No,
Or
no, it
you
depends.
taking me from a
Help her.
position.
Yeah,
help her get out.
Help,
Yeah.
just help her a
Guide
little
me
bit.
a little.
Teach her how to fish so she can feed herself for the rest of her life.
I think it's not a responsibility. Anyway, I don't think it's a responsibility, but hey, good conversations. Thank you for opportunity. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for making it, good talks as usual.
Yes.
We should do this.
Yes.
We'll do this again,
This is
definitely.
definitely
Call you guys back. We'll do this again for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, thank y'all for tuning in.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes,
Please
please.
do.
And thank you. We'll do this again next week. Like I said, like, share, subscribe. Subscribe is somewhere down in the corner of the screen. Go ahead and do that for us. And yeah, man, thank you. Today was a little, started off a little shaky, but we picked it up and we'll do better next time. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in for sure. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
y'all.
having us.
Good conversations, good talks. I have